far from home in a place they never expected to be. They came to Scotland after their country was attacked, after everything they knew was taken from them. Ahead of them lay an uncertain future in a foreign land among people they did not know. These were Polish soldiers, heroes who fought for freedom, not just for Poland, but for the entire world. Here, in Peebles and across Scotland, they trained, prepared, and waited, dreaming of the day they could return to their homelands. They found friendship here, they found kindness, but they also felt loss, longing, and the heavy burden of an uncertain future. They fought because they believed that one day they would return to a free homeland, but for many of them, that day never came. But there were also sad moments, like this one. The Peebles Town Council was the first Briton to launch the campaign, Poles Go Home. But Poland was no longer the same. It was still not free. Many of them could never return. Like General Maczek and Jan Tomaszek, a soldier who, after the war, stayed in Scotland. He loves this country. He started a family here, had children, grandchildren. He bought the Barony Hotel and renovated it. He put a lot of effort and health into this place, and he built the great Polish map of Scotland. The work began in 1974. The project was created by the cartographer Kazimierz Trefas. Polish students from Jagiellonian University helped with the construction. The work was completed in 1981, but in the same year, a fire broke out at the Black Barony. The hotel was being saved and the map was forgotten after the hotel was sold in 1985. Thank you, Scotland, for your hospitality. There are places that stand as symbols. A map is a symbol.
It was a superb spring morning and went for a walk in the woods. Beautiful grounds, rather neglected, but very pretty. And I walked into a clearing in the trees and almost fell over a wall. There was a pit in the ground, full of undergrowth, bushes and long grass and plants. And I almost fell down this pit wall. I noticed that there was an old rusty pipe sticking out to the side of the window. And I thought, it looks like what could be an old water storage reservoir for the village. And I was wandering around scratching my head, looking at this curved wall. In the bushes, I could see what appeared to be bedrock on the ground. After walking around half the circumference of this big circular pit, I saw a shape in the bedrock that looked like a piece of the Scottish coastline, the peninsula, called the Mull of Galloway. And I thought, I must be imagining things. You know, some people see an image of Christ in burnt toast, that kind of thing. I thought, yeah, that looks like the Mull of Galloway, but that's my overactive imagination. But I jumped down the wall thinking, well, if that shape in the rock is the Mull of Galloway, which it can't be. If I walk northwest, I would find an island that I know called Arran. And I walked through the bushes and found the Isle of Arran. Not only the Isle of Arran, but a glen I'm familiar with and a mountain that I've climbed. And to cut a long story short, 10 minutes later, I had identified Ben Lomond and walked over to Glencoe, climbed Ben Nevis, and gone all the way to Cape Wrath and found the northern tip of Scotland. To my amazement, what I seemed to be walking over was a three-dimensional model of Scotland. It's not small three-dimensional, meters from south to north, 40 meters from east to west. I looked at my watch and realised I was late for the start of our day's proceedings. Dashed back to the hotel and started telling all my colleagues what I'd just discovered in the woods. But we had to get on to business for the day, privatise the nuclear power. Yes. So
that's listening's first, right?
Yeah. At coffee break, I went to the reception desk and asked, could anyone tell me about the three-dimensional model in the woods? No one at the hotel could tell me anything about it. Not only that, they didn't even know what I was talking about. So no one at the hotel could give me any of at all. It took me quite a long time I became obsessed with this because I thought, when you look at the size of this model, the creative effort that has gone into designing it and then building it is astonishing. I've never seen anything like it anywhere before.
Must have taken quite a effort.
And yet nobody knows how it came to be here.
Yeah.
Szanowna Panie Przewodniczący, z wielką przyjemnością przemawiam na temat wielkiej mapy Szkocji. Presiding Officer, it is a great pleasure to speak on the subject of the Great Polish Map of Scotland. It's a reminder of the vital role of Polish forces in the defence of Scotland in the Second World War and the hospitality and friendship given by the Poles, to the Poles by the Scots, not only during the war years, but in the decades that followed to the present day. Ta mapa reprezentuje polskie I szkockie więzy.
This could form if we restored it, we could use it as the catalyst for education and as a tourist visitor attraction. You'll see working parties at the moment concentrating on clearing rubble from the map so that we can prepare it for eventual repair and reconstruction. We got the support of local schools, local community groups, and particularly our local member of the Scottish Parliament, Christine Graham.
I'm hoping that the Scottish Government will, if necessary, though money is very tight, help them to restore this wonderful raised, people have to understand this map is enormous. It's not a little map on the wall, it is a huge raised three-dimensional portrayal of Scotland in an enormous area. If they realise how wonderful it will be when the waters flow back down, gravity-fed waters flow around it again, how striking it will be, and we'll go and visit it, and I'm sure it will become a huge attraction for everybody.
The restoration has taken about 8 years, recruiting the volunteers we needed because we were never going to get enough money to get the map restored professionally, and then the time needed to do the actual physical work. That was a very hard job, in fact. We've moved about 250 tonnes of loose rubble. We've laid about 300 metres of underground water supply pipework to provide water to represent the sea. So what you're looking at now is probably only 10% of the work we've done. The rest is underground that you can't see. It means a lot to me because along with a small team of colleagues, we spent over 10 years restoring the map when it had been lost. It was lost in the woods, no one knew anything about it, and now we have restored it because it's so important that people remember why there are so many Polish, Scottish families with new generations of young Poles and Scots, and why 20,000 Polish soldiers arrived in Glasgow in 1940 to join the Allied. And that's why it's so great to see small children enjoying working on the map. Yeah, so that's why we're here today.
I know no other road. I was born in this country. Scotland is my world. But I am proud to be Polish. And history shows that it is worth fighting for dreams. My dream is for all of us to live in happiness. This map is just an example that if you truly desire something, you can achieve it. Pride is one thing, but friendship is another. Only together can we succeed. Believe in the power of this map and give it new life. We can do it.
W kategorii 2024 piknik łączy nas mapa, wydaje się być dotychczas zwycięzcą.
Każde miejsce ma coś wyjątkowego. Są też takie miejsca, które mają te rzeczy w wyjątkowym stopniu. To, że jest tutaj wyjątkowa mapa Szkocji, że ma ona związek z Polską, jest czymś szczególnie dla nas ważnym i wyjątkowym. I to, że spotkaliśmy się tutaj z wyjątkowym przyjęciem, a także, jak już żona mówiła, z wyjątkowymi ludźmi, którzy swoją aktywnością, umiejętnością organizacji sprawili, że to jest tak znakomite.
Jak to jest możliwe, że tyle tysięcy kilometrów od domu, ja się czuję jak u siebie. Było super, bardzo dziękuję za zaproszenie.
Żeby pielęgnować swoją polską tożsamość, to naprawdę wielka sprawa i za to jestem Państwu niezwykle wdzięczna.
Aż się boję, co wy wykręcicie tutaj za rok.